Effects with filters. This is an introduction to Photoshop filters. In this week's lesson, we'll learn about what filters are and how to apply them, how to create effects with specialized filters like the artistic filter or the stylized filters, to understand how to alter images with distort and noise filters, and how to play with lighting with the render filter. Also, we'll take a look at the perspective warp and the vanishing point effects to add perspective. So the tools that we are going to use in this week's lesson are under the filter menu. If you go to the filter menu here up in the top menu bar, you will see a drop down of many different categories of filters. So we have things like the blur filters. We have blur tools here. We have noise filters. We have render filters, and we have stylized filters. So what filters do, kind of big picture here, is they modify the look of an image by altering pixels in a particular pattern or format across a layer or across a selection. So you can define a specific area by having an active selection and then apply your filter. The results are unique and customized. The most important thing about filters is to be subtle. Filters are very memory intensive. I can't stress this enough. They take up a lot of RAM, so make sure you have enough RAM in your computer. You may see a slight delay. You may see that your Photoshop tends to almost freeze up, but give it a moment to kind of catch up, and it should be fine. You can apply filters on any kind of a layer except for a background layer. So we'll have to convert this background to an image layer in order to apply a filter. And I can do that, remember, by just double clicking, go with the default of layer 0, and now I have an image layer. So the filter name, back up here under the filter menu, if we take a look at a couple of these, let's just look in the blur here. So some of these have the name without what we call the ellipsis, the dot, dot, dot. If their ellipsis is there, so it's the filter name, like box blur, dot, 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 that will tell me that a dialog box will open, allowing me to control and evaluate the precise effect of the filter on the area that I want to apply it. If there is no ellipsis, if there's no dot, 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 like the blur more, in this case, this will apply the filter instantly. So Photoshop will just go ahead and do the blur more without any dialog box, without any input from you, the user. So let's get started with filters.